So Space Marine 2 has gotten a new update, and after reading the patch notes, I really do not feel like opening and playing this game at all because nothing has been fixed and nothing has been addressed. They have added a new map, but it's a chaos map, and as you know, the chaos enemies are really annoying. They do not work properly. You cannot melee them, you cannot face them properly because when you start to melee them, they will never stop shooting, they will teleport away, and generally they do not work properly. So there is no fun to be had. Nobody has fun playing with chaos enemies at all. So there is no point in playing this map. It's the same thing, and they haven't fixed these chaos issues. They have added a new chaos enemy, but who cares? The chaos enemies have the same problem, all of them. There is a new skin pack. I do not care about skins because what's the point of adding skins if I cannot play the game? The game director says the melee system has been our main focus recently. Seriously, dude? I mean, are you kidding me? Recently? The melee system is the core system of a game with a melee combat mechanic. And you shouldn't be focusing on the melee system and fixing it after the game has been released. Like right now, there are 3 or 4 months after the game's release, you are fixing the melee system. I used to design cars and I used to produce cars, and the car design is like before the car has been released or into the production, the core functionality and the core mechanics of the working of a car has been already thought out before the cars goes into the production. That's how the production cycle is of a car normally. You do not fix the car's core functionality and you do not change the engine and fix the gearbox after the car has been launched. That is not how you design cars, and same is true for a game. Because right now the game has been released and it's already been 3-4 months and the game doesn't work at all because the core functionality doesn't work. They are now fixing the melee system, they are now fixing the weapons, they are now fixing the balance after the game has been out. So we never have a game that I can play because it's not fixed. So I just don't play the game. Like, when are we going to get a game which works properly? So he says further that the normal melee damage has increased across the board. This is not good because this makes the game easier without fixing the problem. The problem with the melee combat is not the melee damage. The problem with the melee combat is that there is no incentive, there is no reward in meleeing the enemies. First of all, the chaos enemies especially do not work properly, so the melee combat is useless on them. Secondly, with Tyranids, the melee combat doesn't give you any reward. You do not get armor, you do not get contested health back, you do not get damage resistance from ranged attacks. So why would you ever melee in this game? You just parry, you just keep parrying. There is absolutely no reason to melee in this game, and increasing the melee damage just makes the game easier without fixing the problem. So they have increased the melee damage so the game is easier. When you melee, you will kill them faster, but it still doesn't incentivize the melee combat. It doesn't make the melee combat more viable, and it just makes the game easy. Like the enemy will just die instantly, like faster to the melee damage, but there is no good melee combat because you are not really staggering the enemy properly. You are not gaining any contested health, so you are just going to get nuked at some point because there is no incentive in meleeing. There is no reward, like there is no feedback loop of meleeing, of having constant melee combat. So nothing is fixed. They have added the new blocking system, and after looking at this clip, I haven't played it of course because I do not want to play this game anymore. But after looking at this footage here, by the way, there is a error here. Like, it shows that after you block 3 times, it will do an explosive damage, and I do not like this. So the right wrist glows in yellow after the parry, and it should not be a parry here, by the way. It should be block because this is a block weapon and block mechanic. So they have a mistake here. They cannot even write properly. So when you block 3 times, as you see in this clip, it will not stagger. No, there is no need of stagger, but it will do an explosion damage, which I do not like because after blocking, I do not want explosions happening. when I'm melee. I really want proper melee combat where I cleave through bunch of enemies and stagger them. But right now, as you see, it just creates an explosion, which I do not really like. Like, what is this? I do not want explosions happening when I'm meleeing. It's bad. Like, I don't like this system. So whatever, melee doesn't work still. Next, the firearms. They haven't fixed anything with firearms. They are just fixing. They are just telling in this update that they are fixing it in the next updates. I mean, the game has already been released. It's been 3 months, and now you are fixing the firearm 6 months. So now I launch the car, and after everyone has tried out the car, I am changing the engine and the gearbox. Are you kidding me, bro? He says like the other big outstanding problem is that we have the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher is not a problem, it is a cheat. There is a difference between having a cheat in the game and a problem in the game. So they do not want to fix the grenade launcher because it will render the grenade launcher useless and it will hurt the tactical class, which I completely disagree. Because right now you cannot play the game because every time you join a lethal lobby, there is a high chance you keep getting grenade launcher people, and everything literally dies to the grenade launcher. There is absolutely no fight. One guy literally can kill all the enemies with one weapon, and there is no fun to have because the guys without the grenade launcher cannot kill the enemies and cannot have any combat because everything just dies to the grenade launcher. And now they are still not fixing the problem after 4 months after the release, and they say that it will make it useless. It's better to make the grenade launcher useless than to have in the game right now, because now you cannot play the game with the grenade launcher in the game like this. By the way, I just disagree that it will not hurt the entire tactical class. You just have to fix the ammo perk. You have to add certain temporary mechanics so that you do not change any damage numbers. But it's like a temporary fix would be like, well, maybe reduce the damage of the grenade or reduce the ammo capacity or something like that. That would be a temporary fix. It will still make the grenade launcher very much viable, but it will fix it. Like right now you are just doing nothing and the game is unplayable. Because every time you join a lethal game, you find a grenade launcher and you cannot play. You have to back out, find a new lobby. It's waste of time. And I completely disagree, man. Like he says, we do want to keep the fun element of destroying entire waves of enemy with the grenade launcher. It's absolutely disgusting, dude. One weapon should not be destroying entire waves of enemies because there is co-op element of the game. There are other people playing the game with you. The other players, your teammates have purpose in the game. You should not be alone single-handedly destroying entire waves of enemy just by using one weapon. There has to be some gameplay variety. If you allow destroying of entire waves with one weapon, then people will just use that weapon and there will not be any variety in gameplay. There will not be any co-op gameplay at all because one weapon, one guy will just destroy everything. If you want to have this fun, there are other ways to do that. There is modding. You can mod the game and play the game privately or play the game solo to increase the damage. There is other way of downloading cheat engine. You can download cheats and destroy the enemies like that. But stop ruining the fun of other people. I do not understand how this basic fundamental things people don't understand. Like, I'm not going on the street driving my Ferrari at 200 miles per hour because it will destroy the lives of other people out there. I can have fun, but I will destroy other people's fun, other people's livelihood. If I drive my Ferrari at 200 miles per hour on the street here when the speed limit is 40 miles per hour. It's ridiculous how you guys come up with this shit. This is all whatever. The bolt carbine, by the way, needs a scope which they do not care about. They added a new extermination bonus, which is basically preventing people, a system for preventing and punishing people who skip encounters. But why is there a system to skip enemies and encounters in the first place? There shouldn't be a game where you are able to skip enemies and encounters. That is horrible design. And now, instead of fixing that problem, you are adding a mechanic of ranking and giving XP to them, those who fight and do not skip. I mean, who needs XP? Who needs rank? People just want to clear the map. Nobody cares about XP because everyone has their weapons and classes maxed out. People want challenge, and after maxing out everything in the game, people want to play the game and not skip encounters. But right now, if your team is dead, all you do is skipping encounters because the enemies do not work properly. You cannot melee them. You cannot clutch unless you use broken builds. So, I mean, the game is easy. Nothing works. Fundamental issues of this game are not solved. They are changing the engine of the car and changing the gearbox after the car has been launched. There are constantly accidents on the road because one guy just uses his car at 200 miles per hour and kills 5 people in the way. That's how the game has been designed. Quality of life updates. These are just few quality of life updates, but there are no huge updates. Like the lobby system doesn't work. The weapon sounds bad. The class conflict still exists. Then FOV is still bad. There is no shoulder swap. And lot of other issues. So I don't know why anyone with more than 2 brain cells will play this game. Customization, who cares about customization? There is fundamental issues which needs fixing. Now they are fixing, like in this patch we are only fixing the bugs with existing perks. But trust me, we are seeing the issues with them. Now you are seeing the issues. You should have seen these issues, or you should have actually worked on a good mechanic before the game has been released and when the game has been in development. You do not actually fix the game after the game has been released. What is this? I do not know, man. Like, I just give up on this game because nothing works. The game developer is incompetent. This guy Dmitry Grigorenko is completely incompetent. There is nothing that good comes out of Russia. The emperor does not protect. It doesn't protect Russia. If I go and wake up the emperor, he will completely destroy you guys because you do not make a good game. You do not fix the core fundamental issues with the game. So the emperor, if he wakes up, he will destroy this game and remake the game, and then we will have a game which I can play. I should really go and wake up the emperor. He is not protecting. He will not protect you after he wakes up. So until the Killing Floor 3 update comes out and that game is released, I will move on to that next game. This is a dog shit game and it is a bad game. These people are incompetent. I'll see you guys later.